Today was a big day for video game announcements, coming primarily from the Nintendo Direct event. However, there were some other announcements sprinkled in there. So in this video, we want to go over 10 huge new game announcements that came out today. We'll start things off from the Nintendo Direct, so let's get right into this. Dark Souls Remastered. Yes, the very first Dark Souls game is being remastered. It's coming to Nintendo Switch, but it's also coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Many would consider the first Dark Souls title to be the best of the series. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I would agree with the fact that it is a fantastic game. And with Dark Souls Remastered, you get the main game as well as the DLC content, so that's pretty nice. And to have Dark Souls on the go with the Nintendo Switch is going to be great, and this is the first time a Souls game appears on a Nintendo platform, so I'm sure you Switch owners are excited. And as I mentioned, it will be coming to PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One, and on the Xbox One X it will be running at 4K. The World Ends With You Final Remix. The World Ends With You was one of the best Nintendo DS games, and considering the Nintendo DS was a haven for great games, that says a lot. And I could also add the fact that this is one of the best games Square Enix has ever put out. It was a tremendous game, released almost a decade ago back in 2008, but now the game has been updated for Nintendo Switch, and it's coming with HD visuals and a new epilogue that sheds new light on the game's story. You can join in on the rhythmic battles using either Joy-Con controllers or the Nintendo Switch touchscreen, and the game was great for a variety of reasons. It had great characters, a great art style, the music was wonderful, and the setting was great as well. If you haven't played The World Ends With You, now is the time to do so with The World Ends With You Final Remix coming to the Switch sometime this year. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. After being released on the Wii U and 3DS, Hyrule Warriors is now coming to the Nintendo Switch, coming in the form of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, a new ultimate version of the exhilarating action game set in the Zelda universe. This version will include every map and mission, plus all 29 playable characters from both the Wii U and 3DS versions of the game, along with all of the previous paid downloadable content. Now, this obviously doesn't play as your typical Legend of Zelda game, rather it's a Dynasty Warriors style game with a Legend of Zelda coat of paint on it. It's very action oriented, but it's a lot of fun, and it'll be nice to have the game on the Nintendo Switch. Mario Tennis Aces. One of the more surprising announcements at this Direct was the announcement of Mario Tennis Aces, a new Mario Tennis title that's bringing a new level of skill and competition to the Nintendo Switch. Mario steps onto the court against a variety of Mario characters in full-blown tennis battles. There's new refinements in the tennis gameplay, and best of all, this time around the game will have a story mode, and that's the first time a story mode has been in a Mario Tennis title since Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Advance. With a variety of different missions, boss battles, and more, expect Mario Tennis Aces to be pretty good. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. The Nintendo Switch has been struggling on the front of quality Japanese RPGs. We've had a couple with I Am Setsuna as well as Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but now we're getting another one in one of the most long-story Japanese RPG franchise in history in Ys, and the latest game in the franchise, Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. The Ys games have never been heralded to be AAA top-tier quality games, however, they are very good and they've always been consistent. If you're a fan of quality JRPGs, Ys 8 is going to be right up your alley, and having it on the go on the Nintendo Switch is going to be great. It's scheduled to be released summer of 2018. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy will feature 14 playable characters, all plucked from the King of Fighters and Art of Fighting franchise, but obviously, as the title would suggest, it's all heroines. Female characters in the game will feature a one-button fighting mechanic and special finishing move known as the Dream Finish. The game's official description says players will make use of special items in combat to turn the tide of battle. The game will also support online battles as well as a spectator mode, and it was confirmed at the Nintendo Direct, but it will also be arriving to the PlayStation 4. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy is set to come this summer. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the Wii U title, is now back, and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, and this version includes all the fun and challenge of the original game, and there's also a new beginner-friendly mode that'll let you play as Funky Kong. Funky Kong can double jump, hover, perform infinite rolls, and even perform infinite underwater corkscrews. Thanks to his sturdy surfboard, even spikes can't slow him down, so obviously that's a little bit more of the easier route. However, it's gonna be nice to have Donkey Kong on the go as Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze hits the Nintendo Switch. Also, we had a couple of other titles be announced today outside of the Nintendo Direct event. First, we have Border Break. Border Break is a free-to-play mech-oriented game, and it's been a part of Japanese arcades for a while, but now it's coming to the PlayStation 4 with a story mode and 10-on-10 online battles alongside redesigned characters and additional elements that will let players enjoy the Border Break world. Battles will see players control various mecha, fighting one another, and each of those mecha are made from customizable parts. Border Break on the PlayStation 4 is currently only confirmed for a PlayStation 4 release in Japan. However, hopefully we see it sometime in the States too. This one could be one to surprise us.
敵陣深く切り込みコア破壊を目指す多種多様な戦場が待ち受ける仲間との連携磨いた戦術を駆使して勝利をつかみ取れさらにプレーは完全無料スタミナフリーでいつでも戦える武器そして機体パーツありとあらゆる武装を
Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered. This has been one that's been long rumored by Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Rogue was released back in 2014, the same day as Assassin's Creed Unity, and that was the title to release on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, while AC Unity would be on PS4 and Xbox One, and many would consider that Assassin's Creed Rogue was the better game. I'm not here to make that debate, however, Unity wasn't that good, so that's not even saying that much. But AC Rogue was a pretty good game that went really under the radar. It borrows a lot of the mechanics from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and you know how much gamers love that game, so if you have yet to play Assassin's Creed Rogue, now would be a great time to do so with the game headed to PS4 and Xbox One.
Know their pursuer. I must destroy those who I once called brother.
Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered.
And finally, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age on PC. Many would consider Final Fantasy XII to be the black sheep of the Final Fantasy franchise, but I disagree. I think Final Fantasy XII was a great game. It's just that when the game was released, it was a stark shift from previous Final Fantasy titles. It had a very different battle system, not your typical turn-based system. Rather, it played more like an MMORPG, and that might have turned some people off. Obviously, the one major complaint has been the main character. Vaughn is not that engaging. However, the rest of the cast of Final Fantasy XII, you have some very interesting characters like Balthier, Botch, Ash, that add a lot of depth to the party of Final Fantasy XII, and the overall story is pretty good. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age was released on PlayStation 4 back in July of 2017, and that was received very well. Maybe this is one of the Final Fantasy titles that has aged better over time. Whatever the case may be, now it is coming to PC, and it'll be another avenue for you to experience Final Fantasy XII, which, take my word for it, it was very good.
Fear not, Princess of Dalmasca. Fulfill your role as savior. Attain to your birthright.
I will avenge those who have died, and the Empire will know remorse. This is my charge.
That's our charge, actually.
It's our home. It belongs to us all.
So that wraps up 10 huge video game announcements that came today. What do you think? Which of these games are you excited for? Are you sold on a Nintendo Switch yet? If you own a Nintendo Switch, are you excited for all of these games? How about the other titles announced? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.